Hello and welcome to some more action from the HBL PSL Season 8. It's Gaddafi Stadium, second match of the second leg of this tournament, and we are looking forward to some great action. I've got two of my colleagues from the Junior League, partners in crime. Welcome, Darren Ganga. Good to have you, man.
Thanks for having me. The last time I was in the HBL PSL would have been back in 2018, so my romance with this wonderful tournament continues, and I can tell you the elements of this tournament that sort of jumps out at me. Of course, it's the talent that you see, the talent and skill, talent being unearthed. You look at Shaheen Afridi and how he's risen to superstar status in international cricket. You also see the diversity of the venues coming back. I think the last time this happened was in 2020. So it's great to see 4 venues being used. And the fan engagement, it's exceptional. Fans having a chance to be up close and personal with the players, and then to be winners with so many prizes. I mean, it's a wonderful tournament. It's quite sexy, and I could tell you, I'm coming from the Caribbean. The entire Caribbean is switched on looking at this wonderful tournament. Oh,
great. That's awesome. That's awesome to know. So now we'll ask Dominic Cork to run us through how does he find the table as of now after 15 matches. And Darren, you can actually know what you missed.
Well, what we've seen is the Multan Sultans who dominated in Multan. We were there, we saw them, they lost that opening game against the Lahore Qalandars. What I see now is the top 3 teams. And don't mean that is it. I just see the top 3 quality teams, and Multan Sultans, Islamabad United will give the Lahore Qalandars a run for their money tonight. 2 solid teams, and the rest of them, they're trying to find form. They're trying to find their best 11, and I think hence why they're down there. The Zalmi need a win. Karachi Kings are just starting to pick up. Now they've picked Shamsi, thankfully, and obviously Quetta Gladiators, you know, they're desperate for a win. But look, there's so many games to come. I just hope one thing tonight. We had a great atmosphere here last night. I hope we get the same and a similar type of game, because what we saw last night was T20 at its very best. It was as close to international cricket, maybe at times better than international cricket, and hopefully we get the same tonight.
Hey, good you mentioned about bowling, because batting had a bigger say yesterday, but in that 28 sixes, there was a fifer from the captain of Lahore Qalandars. How good was he last night?
Well, he was absolutely fantastic. You know, I did a little piece, the expert view on him, and just, this is what he does. You know, he showed it against the Gladiators, against Jason Roy and Guptill. And some of these, okay, a great catch from Fakir Zaman, which helps out, but he caused pressure. He made it difficult. He has pace. He has everything that, as a bowler, as a former bowler, that's what you want. And he leads as captain as well. That's what I like about him. He leads from captain. 5 for 40 in any form of the game is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic, and hopefully he can do it again tonight.
Yeah, and then you talk about a player who's on top of his game, and you give him the added responsibility of captaincy. Sometimes you feel that his focus goes away, but he's been so good, hasn't let his bowling affect that.
And it's something that we've seen throughout this HBL PSL. You look at Mohammad Rizwan, how he's managed his individual performances with his captaincy role, and you're seeing that with Shaheen Afridi. I think for him, when you look at how he bowls, majority of his deliveries, they finish on the stump. So he is as attacking as you can get with a fast bowler. He's got pace, as Dominic said. He's got that ability to swing the ball. It's an ideal package to have as an opening bowler, and his accuracy as well. He can bowl in those difficult phases of the innings. At the start, at the back end, he is, you know, an ideal asset for T20 cricket.
Just remember what we said yesterday. He takes the pitch out of it. I know we'll do a pitch report, and it'll be a good one by Simon Dool, but he actually takes it out, and he knows as a batter, you know, when somebody is bowling so full at you and swinging it late, you've got to be in the right position. So that's why he's good. And then when he knows it doesn't swing, he pulls his length back. He's got brilliant, he adapts really well. Slower balls at the end. They are the best side in the last 5 overs for a reason, because he started off with the bowlers. You know, him, Zaman Khan, Harris Ralph, they're excellent. So he leads from the front, he bowls well, and they're a good team. But I think they're also up against a good team in Islamabad tonight.
They are indeed, especially when you talk about the batting matchups. Now, talking of Shaheen Afridi, let's get to know more about him through the numbers game. Speaking of Shaheen, we'll talk about fifers, one last night and one before. This only bowler in the HBL PSL to get those 2 fifers. I still remember, is it a good thing that he's never changed the franchise? He's always played with that team, and he's probably got that bigger stage from Lahore Qalandars, because he was playing Pakistan under 19, but he got to you could say the limelight came through this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you can just tell it. He wears that shirt with pride, and I think that's what you see it when he plays for Pakistan, of course. But when he's actually leading from the front, when he's leading from the front, you can just see that it's what he wants and what he does really well. So ultimately, them numbers do not surprise me. He'll get more fifers, and that will just get fuller and fuller and fuller.
Okay, so just a quick question from Darren before we hit the break. We talk about these two sides. They scored 240 last night. Even Islamabad played a 200-plus game in their last outing. So is it down to who is a better bowling unit today that will decide the winner?
You can say that based on what transpired yesterday, but I always tend to look at conditions on the day. It's very important for both teams to assess what's happening out in the middle. It's a different pitch, I'm sure, so they will need to make their plans according to what they see. I don't like to predetermine conditions before you play. Again, it's T20 cricket, so that time for you to make amends to any mistakes, it's a lot short. So you got to try and make sure all departments of your game is switched on. The great thing about this HBL PSL is the fact that all teams have won this title. So there are very narrow margins between sides and among sides. So teams need to bring their A game if they are to win.
I'm going to say quickly, whoever wins the power play wins the game.
Okay.
Bowling side get 3 wickets, they win the game, I reckon. Whoever, they're 60 for none, they go ahead.
Don't forget, they were 6 down, he scored a 97.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's what's important. Both of them teammates for Pakistan and have equal respect for each other's game. And 2 young captains in the making. And who knows, might wear the star as captain. Amazing pictures. Time for us for a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more about match 16 that's lined up for you. Welcome back to the Pitchside Studio. Time for us to grab some expert advice. Aaron and Mark Butcher are out there. Let's find out what they have to share with us.
Well, the power hitters have certainly come to play in the HBL PSL Season 8, smashing maximums for fun. So I thought this is the perfect time to get Mark Butcher to give us a batting masterclass and just how to power hit. How do these boys get so much power and clear the boundary with ease? Teach me. Show me your ways.
Yeah. There are some boys here playing in this competition who hit the ball a lot further and a lot harder than I did. They all do it in very, very different ways. We had Fakhr Zaman last night, who's very much a leg-sided player, smacking the ball out of the park. I think we can see 1 or 2 of his boundaries from yesterday evening. He's very much a leg-sided player, as we can see, and he will smash the ball towards the leg side given any opportunity. Tom Kohler-Cadmore, a much more upright player, looks to hit the ball down the ground, but he is extremely powerful. And then you've got Azam Khan of Islamabad United, who we'll see tonight, who can hit the ball just about anywhere. A completely different beast, different athlete, but he can get the job done in terms of hitting the ball out of the park as well.
Okay, so what's different between the 3 of them as well? Because they are very different players, as you mentioned.
Well, they are. I mean, one of the things that it is fundamental to all of the way that they strike the ball, despite the fact that they all play in very different ways. If we get a little look here at Fakhr Zaman and sort of just highlight 1 or 2 areas in which they're all very, very similar. So Fakhr there, as you'll see, just before the bat swing begins, the back lift, the toe of the bat is pointing very much vertically up towards the sky, and the hands are back beyond the body, and the feet are both rooted towards the ground. Let's move that along into impact. See the way that the back hip then starts to drive, the head stays down. Look at that perfect position at impact. The head, the hands, and the ball in the middle of the bat are all in the perfect line, and then he will shift through into that wonderful full fur through where the back of the bat almost slaps him in the middle of the back, and he also managed to maintain balance. Tom Kohler-Cadmore as we've seen, and those little clips there before, very much more upright, almost a very English sort of style player. However, look at the similarities here. Just as he gets before the bat swing starts to come down, look where the toe of that bat is, right? See where that's pointing?
Straight up in the air.
Straight up in the air, right up towards the ceiling, vertical. Okay, and he starts to then, feet are both in the ground, he starts to drive that hip forward as we go into impact. Once again, impact, head, hands, bat. Now, he's looking a little bit straighter there, so the impact is a little bit closer to him, but again, the same applies. There's a wonderful line between head, hands, and the ball, and then the impact, the back lift and the bat swing then ends up going right the way up and over towards the back of his bat, and he almost slaps himself in the middle of the back with the back of the bat. So they're very, very different areas they're trying to hit them in, but those fundamentals remain the same. Now let's talk about this guy. This guy is absolutely incredible. He generates power from utterly nowhere. Now, again, back of the bat, where's that going, Erin?
Straight up in the air.
Straight up towards the sky. He's now on the back foot looking to play a pull shot to a ball that probably isn't that short. So roll again onto impact once more. Down comes the bat, head, hands in line, hands out in front. But look at the way that both of those feet are rooted into the ground. Back in the old days, you think about guys playing pull shots, you'd have 1 foot off the floor almost as you're trying to generate as much power with the arms and the upper body as you can. With these guys, they're using the lower body, they're using the ground, they're using their hips to get that bat swing. There's the impact, head, hands, ball in line, and the bat swing is going all the way round to smack them in the back of the bat. So you've got 3 guys who hit the ball very differently, play very differently, but when it comes to power hitting, they do a lot of things exactly the same.
All right, kids, if you're playing along at home, I think there's 3 things I've taken out of that. So I want the bat to be pointing upright.
Very good.
Yeah, pointing up in the air.
Yep.
I want feet planted on the ground, so I feel very rooted.
Feet in the ground.
To get my power. And then hips first.
Hips in, head down, bang, back lift all the way back and over and through. And you will get the ball out of the park more often than not.
Easy as you like it. Hope you've been paying attention to that. Take some notes, guys, and go and practice your power hitting at home yourself.
You talk about power hitting and, of course, the reach that they have and the way this 3 was described. Very well done by Mark Butcher. And I'm going to put this question to the batter out here in our studio. Correct me if I'm wrong. We talk about West Indies. Lots of guys had gone over to the neighbors and talk about the baseball batters and have got some coaching going on to help them with that bat swing.
Yeah, I guess it's about where the coaching methodology is at the moment. It's very outcome based. It's using the individuality of the player, and you can see that from the images that we saw there. Tom Kohler Kadma, tall guy, using the levers that he has, long levers. Azam Khan using his power, you know, keeping a short, low gravity, center of gravity. So it's about using that to your advantage, and they've done that nicely. For me, I think with Baba Azam, the fact that he is now transformed himself from just being a dominant player against spin in the middle phase of the inning, he's now dominating against seam. And maybe that's because of the exposure he's had playing in different parts of the world in T20 tournament. For Fakhar Zaman, apart from his power that he shows, I think more often than not we're seeing him batting deep and batting into the innings, which is a real asset for any side as an opening batter.
All right. I had one question, but I'll put that up to you in the comm box. Where do you bowl to these guys? But thank you so much, gentlemen. We are very close to the toss and the pitch report, and we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more action from the Gaddafi Stadium.
A very warm welcome back to the Pitchside Studios. Sikandar was having way too much fun without me, so I've turfed him out and I've brought in Marina Iqbal and Waqar Younis. Thanks so much for joining me here tonight. And Marina, my first question is to you as to the batting that we can expect from Lahore Qalandars today. Obviously, Fakhar Zaman, just unbelievable touch yesterday.
Well, I think they have the momentum. It was their first game in their hometown, and you could see the control and the domination they had over all sorts. I mean, they in all 3 departments, but when you talk about batting, the top 4, they are in some sublime form. I mean, starting with Fakhar, Abdullah coming in, chipping in. And the best thing about that pair is that Fakhar is a little bit unorthodox, but with Abdullah, because he's technically sound, he can really trouble the bowlers. Anything in his zone, he will go after it. And then with Sam Billings coming in, it has really strengthened their powerhouses.
And they certainly are a well-balanced unit, because Waqar, when we look at their bowling side as well, like Shaheen Shah, my gosh, 5 for 40. Just unbelievable last night.
Look, that's the reason I feel that they decided to bat first, because they have got, no doubt, a great batting lineup, but don't forget their bowling lineup. They can challenge any batting, and that's the reason I feel that, because Shaheen is too good, Haris is there, they got a couple of really good spinners in the lineup, so they're a complete team, and they're playing at their home ground.
I mean, there's so much that we could talk about as we unpack what to expect in this match ahead. But at the moment now, it's time to take a little look at some of the breathtaking sights of Pakistan. This film is entitled Rahai, and it's part of the National Amateur Short Film Festival. Take a little look at this.
ये कहानी है रिहाई की। रिहाई जो एक अरसे से मांग रहे थे, ये नज़ारे और ये किरदार। हमारी ख्वाहिश है कि इनकी रिहाई दुनिया देखे, और इनकी कैद की वजह भी सबको मालूम हो। इनको कैद करना भी आसान नहीं था। हमने शुरू किया पहाड़ों से, फिर आगे बढ़े, और जो जो मिलता गया सबको कैद करते चले गए। कभी रेलगाड़ी से जाना हुआ, कभी कश्तियों से। हर जुबान बोलने वाले से लेकर हर रंग और ढंग वाले इंसान को। हसीन रास्तों से भी गुजरना हुआ, और दिलकश वादियों से। और चूंकि पाकिस्तानी होने का इल्ज़ाम हर मंजर, हर मखलूक पे था, तो हम एक के बाद एक सबको कैद करते चले गए। लेकिन आज इनकी रिहाई दुनिया देखेगी, क्योंकि इन तमाम मनाजिर को बाइज्जत बरी किया जा रहा है। और इसी अहद के साथ हम एक नई शुरुआत करते हैं कि आइंदा अच्छे मनाजिर को अपनी कैद में नहीं रखेंगे।
Khubsurat, what absolutely incredible scenes. My gosh, that makes me want to leave here right now and go out and check out the beautiful scenery of Pakistan, Waka. What an amazing liberation of this beautiful country.
The problem with you is that you only come for a short period. You should come for a longer period and go and visit all these places.
I absolutely can't wait. Looks like we're ready for the BFI coin toss though, so let's get out to the middle with Sikandar Bakht.
Hello and welcome to the BFI coin toss. It's match 16 here at the Gaddafi Stadium. We've got Lahore Qalandars and of course the visitors Islamabad United and our match referee Mr. Roshan Mahanama. And the coin is with you. So Shaheen tosses it. Heads is the call. It is tails. Shaheen, क्या करेंगे?
बैटिंग करेंगे।
बैटिंग करेंगे। कल का मैच बड़ा जबरदस्त रहा, हाई स्कोरिंग गेम था, चेज भी हो रहा था। रीजन क्या है? वंस अगेन वही कहेंगे आप कि हमारी बॉलिंग अच्छी स्ट्रांग है, सो वील गो फॉर इट।
हाँ बिल्कुल, और एक ये कि नई विकेट है, शायद थोड़ा सा हेल्प बाद में मिल सके, और इतना ज़्यादा ड्यू का नहीं है, तो ऑफ कोर्स हम बॉलिंग हमारी स्ट्रांग है तो उसके साथ ही जाएंगे।
कुछ फर्क नजर आ रहा है आपको कल की और इस पिच में?
सिमिलर लग रही है।
सिमिलर लग रही है, तो फिर कोई चेंजेस किए हैं?
सेम टीम।
सेम टीम। फिर 240
कोशिश है इंशाल्लाह 160 170 पे पहले जाए इंशाल्लाह।
ओके चलिए, गुड लक।
थैंक यू, गुड लक।
शादाब, हाई स्कोरिंग गेम था पिछला, लेकिन आपकी टीम के लिए इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं होगी कि आप लोगों ने भी 200 प्लस किया है। पहले तो ये बताएं कि आपका प्लान भी यही था, पहले बैटिंग?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। नहीं, इसके अंदर भी मेरा टॉस जीत कर बॉलिंग का फैसला था, क्योंकि नया पिच है, फ्रेश पिच है, और जब भी आप फ्रेश पिच पे खेलते हो आपको थोड़ी सी मूवमेंट मिलती है, तो वो कोशिश करेंगे वो पहले 6 ओवर में जो हम जितना ज़्यादा हम यूटिलाइज़ कर सकते हैं एज ए बॉलिंग यूनिट वो हम करने की कोशिश करेंगे।
तो आपको फिर वो मिल गया जो आप चाह रहे थे, तो फिर क्या है माइंड में स्कोर जो आपको लगता है चेजेबल होता?
फ्रेश पिच है, आप इससे कुछ आइडिया नहीं लगा सकते, लेकिन जो उनके इनफॉर्म बैट्समैन हम कोशिश करेंगे उनको जल्दी से जल्दी आउट किया जाए, क्योंकि उनके इतने प्लेयर्स ने अभी तक मिडल में बैटिंग नहीं की, तो उनको अभी उस तरह आइडिया नहीं होगा। तो हमारी कोशिश है कि जितने भी इनफॉर्म बैट्समैन हैं जल्दी से जल्दी आउट करें।
कल के मैच को जो यहाँ खेला गया उसको देख के कोई तब्दीलियां हैं टीम में या उसी साइड को खिला रहे हैं जो लास्ट मैच खेली?
नहीं, मैच को देख के तो नहीं, लेकिन जो आपको पता है डाटा बेस हमारी फ्रेंचाइज है, तो 2 चेंजेस है। जिशान जमीर मुकम्मल फिट हो गए, तो वो एक्साइटेड, आपको पहले भी बताया था PSL से पहले कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा प्लस पॉइंट है पाकिस्तान के लिए भी और हमारे लिए भी, तो वो खेल रहे हैं और TC वापस आया फरूकी की जगह।
चलिए, गुड लक टू यू।
थैंक यू।
Okay, so we know that Lahore Qalandars have won the toss and they've decided to bat first again. I got Simon Dool alongside me. Simon, is it an equal opportunity here or should bowlers pack their bags and leave?
I don't want to put my bowling boots on, that's first and foremost. Thanks very much, Sikandar. Look, what I can tell you is there's no reason not to bat first. That's why Shaheen Afridi has done it. Usman Ashad, the groundsman, he has said there's a little less moisture in tonight's one than there was in last night's. 442 runs last night. That was pitch number chair over there. This is Saad's number 7 here tonight. There's a nice covering of grass on it. When it can come down, I can take a little look at it. It's there. It'll assist a little bit of pace and maybe some bounce. It'll be quite quick. What I do when I come to grounds like this, you think as a bowler on a really good batting surface, how can I cut one side of the ground down? I can't tonight. 64 out there, 64 out there, 75 downtown. So there's no short side, there's no big side to try and protect as a bowling unit either. You just have to get your line and length right. Batting first. Is it as good as last night? Is it 240? Probably not. 190, 195. I think you're in the game if you bat them first. Put them on the board and you should be able to defend it, even if there is a little bit of dew.
So Lahore Qalandars win the toss and they elect to bat just like they did yesterday, Marina. And in the news from the middle, it looks like there's no changes to their playing 11 tonight.
Well, no surprises at all. I mean, the way they played, they dominated and went after each and every bowler. The opening slot, obviously, Fakhar, he's in a great form. Tahir, yeah, he can just come out and be like attacking as he wants, but the big guy for me is obviously Abdullah Shafiq. He played brilliantly. Sam Billings, Talat, you can see all those can contribute and go hit big. David Visa as well. And when you look at the bowling, I mean, I am still thinking as a batter, which bowler should I go after, because they all are very impeccable in their line and length and economy.
Yeah, they were absolutely brilliant work. They 241 they put on last night. What can they do today? And as we take a little look at the Islamabad United playing 11, 2 changes for them, Waqar.
Yeah, both teams are blockbuster. I mean, they're both outstanding teams, and one of them can actually go at the top after winning this game if they have a good run rate. So they will probably look to play their best cricket. They're very, very good side. They're full pack at the top. Look at the top 5. They're all big hitters of the cricket balls. And then they have the all-rounders. They've got a very, very good all-rounders in the side. Shadab, Fahim, Tom Curran is there. Hassan Ali is finding his feet. So they are a very fantastic. Zamir is there. So they're backing their bowlers. They have got the good seamers. So I wouldn't really write them off. I mean, I know Lahore Qalandars playing in their backyard, but I tell you, Islamabad United, last 2 games, they won very convincingly. So don't write them off.
Can we expect 400 plus runs again tonight, do you think?
I think so. I think maybe not 400, but you know, somewhere around that. It's going to be a high scoring ground, smaller ground. The pitch is really good. It's the early few couple of overs. I mean, 3-4 overs, you make sure you look at the pace of the ball and then go for it.
Win the power play, win the game. Hey, well, plenty more still to unpack here at the Pitch Side Studio. So stick with us. We'll be back just after a short break.
वेलकम बैक। और ये है पिच साइड स्टूडियो और एक बार फिर गद्दाफी स्टेडियम लाहौर में बड़ी तादाद में यहाँ पे लोग आ रहे हैं और जमा हो रहे हैं इस मैच को देखने के लिए, जो कि 16वां मैच है HBL PSL का। और क्यों ना है, क्योंकि ये होम ग्राउंड है एक तरह से लाहौर कलंदर्स का, और देखने आते हैं अपने सितारों को, अपने स्टार्स को। और इस टीम में तो हैं बहुत सारे, हारिस रऊफ हैं, ऑफ कोर्स राशिद खान को कौन नहीं देखना चाहेगा बॉलिंग करते हुए, हुसैन तलत इनकी साइड पे हैं, तो फॉरेन लोकल स्टार सभी हैं, इनका ढोल बाजा भी सब कुछ होता है। और बात हो रही है स्टार्स की, तो इनके कप्तान से बड़ा स्टार कौन होगा? शाहीन अफरीदी स्टार टॉक में हमारे साथ हैं। लेट्स गेट टू नो मोर अबाउट हिम।
एज अ प्लेयर आप सिर्फ अपनी परफॉर्मेंस पे ज़्यादा सोचते हैं कि अपनी परफॉर्मेंस करो। एज अ कैप्टन आप सोचते हैं एक तो आप फ्रंट से लीड करें और ऊपर से सबको एक तरह से रखें और एक तरह से ट्रीट करें। कुछ डिसीजन आपके लिए सही भी नहीं होते हैं बट आपको लेने पड़ते हैं। अगर आपने एक टीम को ऊपर लेके जाना है तो आपको सम टाइम होते हैं डिसीजन आपके गलत भी हो जाते हैं। ये फील्ड ऐसा है कि इसमें आपने एंजॉय करना होगा जो कैप्टनसी है, जो कि मुझे बहुत पसंद है। और हमारे लड़कों में ये चीज़ है कि एक दूसरे को ज़्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं तो काफ़ी ईजी हो जाता है मेरे लिए। ये तो काफ़ी कब से मशहूर है कि पाकिस्तान के पास अच्छे फास्ट बॉलर प्रोड्यूस होते हैं और जो हमारी क्रिकेट के लिए काफ़ी अच्छी बात है। और जैसे आप रिसेंटली भी देखिए हमारे पास अच्छे बॉलर आए हुए हैं और अभी PSL से आप हर साल एक दो बॉलर्स तो देखते हैं कि वो आ जाते हैं टीम में। और ये एक अच्छी बात है कि देखिए सारे यंग है और जो प्लेयर्स एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट काफ़ी करते हैं और ये पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट के लिए अच्छी चीज़ है। इंजरी के बाद टाइम गुजारा काफ़ी टफ था और उसमें सिर्फ मैंने यही कोशिश की कि अपने इंजरी को ज़्यादा टाइम दूँ। मुश्किल होता है, आसान नहीं होता अकेला टाइम गुजारना, बट मैं अगर ज़्यादा करते भी हूँ तो नॉर्मल डेज पे भी बैट्समैन की वीडियो देखता हूँ और पुराने मैच देख लेता हूँ।
Got him! Swing and a miss, gets the Yorker right.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह लाइफ पार्टनर ऐसा मिला है जो हर टाइम सपोर्ट करते हैं, ये अच्छी बात है। एक तो लाला ने काफ़ी क्रिकेट में सपोर्ट किया। जब भी मुझे कोई चीज़ मशवरे की ज़रूरत होती है मैं उनसे ज़रूर मांगता हूँ। और लाइफ पार्टनर आपका होना चाहिए और वो भी अच्छा होना चाहिए। हैप्पी वाइफ हैप्पी लाइफ।
Five for the skipper Shaheen.
मैं जब भी खेलता हूँ तो मेरी यही कोशिश होती है प्राइड के साथ खेलूँ कि जब भी कोई भी यंगस्टर मेरा नाम ले तो प्राइड के साथ लें कि एक अच्छा बॉलर था और अच्छी परफॉर्मेंसेस रही थी पाकिस्तान के लिए। तो हमेशा मेरा यही सोच और यही गोल होता है और यही है कि पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलूँ, लंबा खेलूँ, तीनों फॉर्मेट एंजॉय करूँ।
Here we are, welcome back. Happy wife, happy life. You can't beat that expert advice.
सिकंदर, मुझे पता था कि आप इसके पूरे इंटरव्यू में से यही लाइन पिक करेंगे। Well done.
मैं जल्दी सीखे हैं यार जी, जल्दी सीखे।
That's good, good.
मैं थोड़ी देर पहले बात कर रहा था, वकार से पूछता हूँ कि जब आप अच्छे फास्ट बॉलर हैं और आप पे टीम डिपेंड करती है और आपको कप्तानी का एक एडेड रोल मिल जाए तो आप कभी कभार एज एन प्लेयर अपनी ओरिजिनल चीज़ भूलने लगते हैं, तवज्जो हटती है। इन्होंने नहीं हटने दी अपनी बॉलिंग पे से कैप्टनसी की जिम्मेदारियों के साथ।
देखिए अभी तक तो जो देखा है ही इज बीन आउटस्टैंडिंग। इनकी जो परफॉर्मेंस भी और इनकी टीम की परफॉर्मेंस भी, पिछले साल जीते भी हैं और ग्राउंड पे भी जो है ना कामनेस नज़र आती है। ऑफ कोर्स ही वर्क्स रियली हार्ड ऑन हिज बॉलिंग, लेकिन जो वैसे भी जो टीम को लेके चलना जिसको बोलते हैं वो भी दिखा है कि इज बीन डूइंग अ ग्रेट जॉब विद द टीम। द ओनली थिंग इज अभी तक ऐसा टाइम नहीं आया कि जहाँ ये 2-3 मैच हारे हों और फिर प्रेशर बिल्ड हो, तो देन प्रॉबली ज़्यादातर कप्तान वहाँ पे टेस्ट होते हैं, यहाँ पे इनको उनकी एक्चुअल पता लगता है कि वो किस लोहे के बने हुए हैं। तो ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट टाइम है जो मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ कि वो उस वक्त ये कैसे रिएक्ट करेंगे। अदरवाइज सो फार इज बीन आउटस्टैंडिंग।
अच्छा, कल के मैच में मरीना हमने देखा काफ़ी पिटाई हो रही थी इनके बॉलर्स की भी, और ख़ास तौर पे ये डिपेंड करते हैं, जिक्र भी करते हैं राशिद खान का। उनको 4 ओवर में 49 पड़े। इन्होंने जिस तरह से मिक्सअप किया अपने बॉलर्स को, कमेंडेबल था उस सिचुएशन में जहां लग रहा था कि वो 11-12 के रन से खेल रहे हैं औसत से।
बिल्कुल, देखिए ऑप्शंस बहुत ज़्यादा हैं और ऐसी ऑप्शंस हैं जो कि स्टैंड आउट करना जानते हैं, जिनको पता है कि हारिस रऊफ की भी ये बात करते हैं, राशिद खान है, डेविड वीज़ा हैं जो आपकी लास्ट ऑप्शन आप कहते हैं, वो भी इतने इकोनॉमिकल हो जाते हैं, सेंसिबल हैं। तो आई थिंक वही बात वकार भाई वाली कि उस तरह प्रेशर आने नहीं देते। उन्हें पता होता है कि अगर एक बॉलर का आज देनी है तो दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा, और मैं खुद एंड में हूँ, आई कैन कंट्रोल थिंग्स। बट जाहिर बात है कि थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा कि जब 2-3 बॉलर्स पे एक साथ अटैक हो रहा हो तो फिर वो किस तरह गेम को वापस लाते हैं। बट आई थिंक जहाँ की बॉलिंग की बात है वही मैं बात करती हूँ कि अपेरेंटली कोई वीक लिंक नजर नहीं आता इनकी बॉलिंग में।
वीक लिंक का आपने जिक्र किया तो हम ये सवाल कर रहे थे कि दोनों ही पावर हाउस हैं बैटिंग में, और हमने देखा कल लाहौर ने कैसे खेला, इस्लामाबाद को हम जानते ही हैं। तो आज बॉलिंग का टेस्ट होगा, जो बेहतर बॉलिंग साइड होगी वो शायद पॉइंट्स ले जाए और विक्टोरियस दिख जाए।
बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है, और मुझे नहीं लगता कि इतनी आई ड्यू भी पड़ेगी। तो आई थिंक ये भी थोड़ा सा एज होगा अगर बॉलिंग आप सेकंड भी करते हो। हाँ, पहले ये है कि फ्रेश पिच है, और इस दफ़ा देखा है कि लाहौर की पिचेस पे थोड़ा सा ग्रीन ग्रास नज़र आ रहा है। तो अर्ली ऑन आई डोंट थिंक कल वाले मैच में पेशावर ज़ल्मी ने इतनी अच्छी बॉलिंग की, अटैक नहीं उतना किया, बाबर ने उतना अटैक नहीं किया। आई थिंक आज आप देखेंगे कि जब टीमें आएंगी दे विल अटैक अ लिटिल बिट मोर एंड दे विल ट्राई टू टेक अर्ली विकेट्स, क्योंकि अर्ली विकेट्स लेंगे तो आपकी बचत है, वरना फिर वही होगा जो कल हुआ था।
अर्ली विकेट्स की बात हुई है तो अब्रार को देखने में मजा आएगा, वो फखर जमान को क्या करते हैं, को ये दोनों तरफ टर्न कर लेते हैं।
बिल्कुल, मैं अभी पिच पे ही थी और मैं उनकी प्रैक्टिस देख रही थी। वो कह रहे थे कि मैं फखर जमान को माइंड में रख के बॉलिंग कर रहा हूँ। तो एक अच्छी चीज़ है, बीइंग ए यंगस्टर आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आपकी ऑपोजिशन में कौन से बड़े नाम है या ऐसे नाम है जिनको आपको अर्ली ऑन थोड़ा होल्ड ऑन करना पड़ेगा, और उस एक प्लान नजर आता है, उसकी एक्सिक्यूशन कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है वो तो जाहिर है मैच में नजर आती है। बट एटलीस्ट ही इज वर्किंग अलॉन्ग द लाइंस कि मुझे किनके सामने बॉलिंग करनी पड़ेगी। आई हैव अ प्लान।
Okay, let's enjoy match 16.